Welcome back. I'm Shuli Ghosh. You're watching Al Jazeera. Our top stories: the UN Human Rights Council has voted in favour of launching an international inquiry into human rights violations in Gaza. US Secretary of State John Kerry is in the Egyptian capital Cairo to try to broker a deal between both sides of the conflict. At least 775 Palestinians have died after more than 2 weeks of shelling in Gaza. And the US Aviation Safety Authority has lifted its ban on flights in and out of Israel's Ben Gurion International Airport. Now let's speak to Kirsty Brimelow, who's from the Bar Human Rights Committee of England and Wales. Joins us now from London. Good to have you with us, Kirsty. Talking about human rights, Navi Pillay, the Human Rights Commissioner, said that what Israel is doing may amount to war crimes. Now we've got the UN Human Rights Council authorising a commission of inquiry. To your mind, what kind of things should they be looking at?
Well, what they'll be looking at is whether there is compliance with international law. So that's international law and international humanitarian law. And what that means is that where there is a conflict, both sides have to make a distinction between combatants and non-combatants. Basically what they have to do is protect the civilian population. And that would apply to Israel, that Israel would be under a duty to protect the civilian population, not only of Israel, but also the population within the occupied Palestinian territory.
But if the Commission finds that, war crimes have indeed been committed, what then? Where can it go? I mean, surely not to the International Criminal Court, because the US would never sanction charges against Israel.
Yes, I mean, it's obviously a very interesting question as to what teeth does the Human Rights Council actually have. There was a previous report in 2009 by Judge Goldstone, and unfortunately that report then into a particular conflict was shelved, although its recommendations are still relevant. One thing that could happen is where the Security Council is politically blocked, in referring a state to the ICC, one thing that could happen is there could be something within the General Assembly now. And really, I think there should be moves within the General Assembly to get around political blockades in the Security Council and try and refer countries in that way. But fundamentally, what needs to happen is the states need to take responsibility for their own actions, follow recommendations, set up committees, set up their own commission of inquiries, because it really is pointless them ratifying treaties, making promises and pledges in relation to their own civilians. What
about the Hamas side? Because there are accusations that they're using human shields, which is also against international law, but of course they're not a state, are they?
No, but the same humanitarian law would apply to Hamas just as much as to Israel, because it is a conflict. So they also are bound by those same rules. That means that when they fire rockets, their rockets also should not be rockets which are indiscriminate and will cause danger or harm to a civilian population wherever it is. So they also are bound by the same rules of conflict as Israel is.
Kirsty, thanks very much indeed for speaking with us. Interesting stuff there. Kirsty Brimelow speaking to us live from London.